आय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So like every day, we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 15, and verse number 3. तन्मनुजे कोशति मृगद्विजकुलम् महन्मनः प्रख्यपयः सरस्वता वातेन जुष्टं शतपत्रगन्धिवा गन्धिना निरीक्षरन्तुं भगवान् मनोदधे। तन्मञ्जुघोषाति मृगद्विजाकुलम् महन्मनः प्रख्यपयः सरस्वता वातेन जुष्टं शतपत्रगन्धिना निरीक्षरन्तुं भगवान् मनोदधे। तन्मञ्जुघोषाति मृगद्विजाकुलम् महन्मनः प्रख्यपयः सरस्वता वातेन जुष्टं शतपत्रगन्धिना निरीक्षरन्तुं भगवान् मनोदधे। निरीक्षरन्तुं भगवान् मनोदधे। तन्मञ्जुघोषाति मृगद्विजाकुलम् महन्मनः प्रख्यपयः सरस्वता वातेन जुष्टं शतपत्रगन्धिना निरीक्षरन्तुं भगवान् मनोदधे। तन्मञ्जुघोषादिजाकुलम् महन्मनः प्रख्यपयः सरस्वता वातेन जुष्टं शतपत्रगन्धिना निरीक्षरन्तुं भगवान् मनोदधे। तन्मृगद्विजाकुलम् महन्मनः प्रख्यपयः सरस्वता वातेन जुष्टं शतपत्रगन्धिना निरीक्षरन्तुं भगवान् मनोदधे। तन्मञ्जुघोषाति मृगद्विजाकुलम् महन्मनः प्रख्यं सरस्वता वातेन जुष्टं शतपत्रगन्धिना निरीक्षरन्तुं भगवान् मनोदधे. Mataji's word to word meaning. Tat, that forest. Manju, charming. Gosha, whose sound. Ali, with bees. Mriga, animals. Dvija, and birds. Akulam, filled. Mahat, of great souls. Manaha, the minds. Prakhya, resembling. Payaha, whose water. Saraswata, with a lake. Vatena, by the wind. Justam, served. Shata, patra, of 100 petaled lotuses. Gandhina, with the fragrance. Niriksha, observing. Rantum, to take pleasure. Bhagwan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Manaha, his mind. Dadhe, turned. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead looked over that forest, which resounded with the charming sounds of bees, animals, and birds, and which was enhanced by a lake whose clear water resembled the minds of great souls, and by a breeze carrying the fragrance of 100 petaled lotuses. Seeing all this, Lord Krishna decided to enjoy the auspicious atmosphere. Purport. Lord Krishna saw that the Vrindavan forest was giving pleasure to all five senses. The bees, birds, and animals made charming sounds that brought sweet pleasure to the ears. The wind was faithfully rendering service to the Lord by blowing throughout the forest, carrying the cool moisture of a transparent lake, and thus giving pleasure to the sense of touch. By the sweetness of the wind, even the sense of taste was being stimulated, and the fragrance of lotus flowers was bringing pleasure to the nostrils, and the entire forest was endowed with heavenly beauty, which was giving spiritual bliss to the eye. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has thus explained the significance of this verse. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे. नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतुषे नमः. हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते. तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, chapter 15, the killing of Dhenuka, the ass demon, and verse number 3. So I'll repeat translation once again. The Supreme Personality of Godhead looked over that forest, which resounded with the charming sounds of bees, animals, and birds, and which was enhanced by a lake whose clear water resembled the minds of great souls, and by a breeze carrying the fragrance of 100 petaled lotuses. Seeing all this, Lord Krishna decided to enjoy the auspicious atmosphere. Before starting, I would like to seek the blessings of all of you Vaishnavas assembled and our acharyas. So kindly bless me so that I can speak something on this. Just like yesterday, His Grace Adoksha Krishna Bu has said that it is a very high subject matter to speak, and no, we are not, I am not on that level. But still, as a service, I would like to just repeat the words of whatever I have heard from senior Vaishnavas. So, the same from text 2, now text 3, the verse is getting continued. Just as in verse 2 also, the description of Vrindavan is there. Similarly, in the text 3, now the little more description is there. And the description is about the lake, about the humming bees, about the breeze, and everything. And in the purport, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he is mentioning that this purport, this whole uh, verse explains about the satisfaction of all the senses. All the senses, all the five senses which are knowledge acquiring senses. So the satisfaction is of all the senses is given in this. And one more thing about the lake, it is mentioned in this that a lake whose clear water resembled the minds of great souls. This word, just like in the verse it is given, Mahan Manah Prakyapaya Saraswata, that the water is very clear of the lake and so clear just like the mind of great souls. So the similar description comes in 4th canto, 24th verse and 24th chapter and 20 verse, where prachetas are going for the penances and they meet Lord Shiva. Before meeting Lord Shiva, they saw a lake, and the same word, just like here in the verse in this 10th canto, 15th chapter, verse 3, the word has came Mahan Manah. The same word is again we can find in 4th verse, 24th chapter and 20 verse. 4th canto, 24th verse, sorry, 4th canto, 24th chapter and 20 verse, Mahan Mana, Iva Swachham. Mahan Mana, Iva Swachham, and again we can see this Mahan Mana Prakyapaya Saraswata, that the lake water is so clear. So similarly, it shows that we should understand that the great souls are having the mind so clear and not dirty. Just like in the purport, Srila Prabhupada is explaining about that Mahan Mana and about the lake, that there may be many great souls. He is speaking about the great souls which is compared with this lake. He speaks that there may be many great souls, Gyanis, Yogis, and Bhaktas, or pure devotees. Are also called great souls, but they are very rarely found. Just like in Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna says that the Mahatma, the great souls are very rarely found. One can find many great souls amongst yogis and jnanis, but a truly great soul, a pure devotee of the Lord, who is fully surrendered to the Lord, is very rarely found. Sa Mahatma Sudurlabhaha. A devotee's mind is always calm, quiet, and desireless because he is always Anya Abhilashita Shunyam, having no desire other than to serve Krishna as his personal servant, friend, father, mother, or conjugal lover. Due to his association with Krishna, a devotee is always very calm and cool. It is also significant that within that reservoir, all the aquatics were also very calm and quiet. Because the disciples of a devotee have taken shelter of a great soul, they became very calm and quiet and are not agitated by the waves of the material world. So this is the description and this is the examples has been taken in Srimad Bhagavatam that the great soul's mind are very calm, very clean and not dirty and not agitated. Just like the waves of the oceans, it is not agitated. And just I read the word that the disciples of a devotee have taken shelter of great souls. The great souls we find, if we find the great souls and if we have the shelter of great souls, so we will not also be agitated. Because the mind of the great soul, just like the lake, are very calm and clear. Just like in the ocean, if we see, in the ocean there may be so many aquatic animals. But due to the waves, the topsy-turvy of the waves, they feel agitated. But in the lake, it is not like that. The lake is calm, very silent, and clean, and attractive also. So the aquatics who are living in the water of the lake, which is very calm and not agitated, they also feel very peaceful, very satisfied. And by the grace of our founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, and all our predecessor Acharyas, they have given us the shelter like this. That they are very calm, they are the great souls, and we have got the shelter of such a great soul who are not agitated by any material desire. Even about the yogis, even about the jnanis, these people, they are sometimes agitated. But the great souls, they are always fixed on the lotus feet of Krishna. They never get agitated by any allurement or any effect of anything material, any material attraction. They are always fixed on Krishna. Just like we see that all of our acharyas and even the follower of Srila Prabhupada in our society, we see that all the great devotees, although they are getting so many things from the society because they are preaching all over the world, they are getting so many things that one may get attached or one may get allured of it, but they are bringing all the things and putting in the lotus feet of Krishna for the service of Krishna. The whole world they are seeing only as a property of Krishna and only for the service of Krishna. They never see anything in the whole world which is not with Krishna. They never see anything separate from Krishna. That there is a verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Sthavar Jangam dekhe, na dekhe tar murti. They never see anything. जय श्री श्री राधा रास बिहारी भगवान की, श्री श्री सीताराम कृष्ण हनुमान की, श्री श्री गौ निताय की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की. They never see anything which is not connected with Krishna. They see a flower, they see the big property, they see the big opulences, they see even the honor, even the respect they are getting, everything they are getting and they are giving to Krishna. Just like Srila Prabhupada mentions many times, and the followers of Prabhupada also mentions many times, that whatever respects also we are getting, it is not because I am getting. It is because of the mercy of the acharyas, and it is the respect and everything goes to all our guru and acharya. It should go to Krishna. Because we are connected with Krishna, therefore we are getting everything like this. Just like, for example, if a person is working in any company, or in any, if a student is studying in a prestigious college, so there, because the company is big, because the college is prestigious, many times people, they recognize the student or the employee of that particular company or college with a great respect. But that doesn't mean that the respect goes to that employee or the respect goes to that student. Similarly, because we are in the very wonderful society which is giving everyone the chance to get connect with Krishna and to do everything for their own self-realization, we are getting whatever, or we are, by whatever words or by whatever respects we are being recognized, it is not because we are getting that respect. It is because we have connected with something powerful. We have connected with something big. But outside people, they get agitated. The people who are not doing bhakti, those who do not have Krishna in the center of their life, they get agitated. And any person who is not having Krishna as a center of their life, they'll get agitated easily. But we learn from our acharyas, we learn from our seniors that we should not get agitated by any respect, by any material opulences. Why? Because everything belongs to Krishna and everything is a property of Krishna. Then further in this verse, we see another thing. Here is a description about the forest, that Krishna is deciding to enjoy in that auspicious atmosphere. Now, why Krishna wants to enjoy in such an atmosphere? Because atmosphere is like this. Vrindavan atmosphere is like this. The forest atmosphere, the natural atmosphere. We also have forest in the cities, big cities. But that forest is not the natural. That forest is a result of the disturbance made by the humans out of their own lust, out of their own greed. And therefore, just like in Corona also, we have seen the disease was not spreading so much like the urban areas in the rural areas. It was not in that speed of, no, it is spreading in urban areas. It was spreading in the rural areas or village areas or in the natural places very slow. But in the urban areas, it is very heavy. Why so? Because the humans, they have disturbed the nature like this. And what is the reason they have disturbed like this? Because of lust and greed. Why their lust and greed is so big that they are disturbing the nature like this? Because they are never connected with Krishna, or they did not think themselves as a connected with Krishna. Just like Srila Prabhupada mentions many times, because of the godless civilization that we are doing, that the people doing this, they are not making any sense that that property belongs to Krishna, and the so-called theory they are following about the godless civilization. Even in the books, the children are reading that. Here, in the uh, instance of Prachetas, Prabhupada mentions, further Prabhupada goes, and Prabhupada says, this material world is often described as an ocean of nescience. In such an ocean, everything is agitated. The mind of the great devotee is also like an ocean or very large lake, but there is no agitation. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 2.41, Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kuru nandana. Those who are fixed in the service of the Lord are not agitated by anything. It is also stated in Bhagavad Gita 6.22, Yasmin sato na dukkhena guru napi vichalayat. Even if he suffers some reversals in life, a devotee is never agitated. Because the devotee, even the suffering he sees, that is coming from Krishna. So their mind is completely fixed. Ekeha kuru nandana. One whose mind is not fixed is, agitated with so many desires, which is not desires for Krishna consciousness. They feel agitated. There is the chance for agitation. And further, Prabhupada explains, a devotee of Lord Krishna is always peaceful because he has no desire, whereas yogis, karmis, and jnanis have so many desires to fulfill. One may argue, now one more point Prabhupada is making clear. One may argue that the devotee have desires, for they wish to go home, back to Godhead. But such a desire does not agitate the mind. Just like the people outside, they also have desires. And the devotees who are practicing Krishna consciousness, they also have desires. Yogis, jnanis, they have desires. But here Prabhupada is mentioning that the desire for going back home, back to Godhead is not agitating. But desire for anything, doing yoga, doing dhyana, for the material prosperities, for the endeavor for the material prosperities, the result to enjoy, these desires are there, but these desires agitates. Then, regarding this verse, that so many beautiful things are there in this verse. Similarly, Kunti Maharani, she also prays to Krishna, just like yesterday Adokshaj Krishna Bhu, he has also mentioned. So in Canto 1, chapter 8, verse 40, Kunti Maharani speaks that all the cities and villages are flourishing in all respects because the herbs and grains are in abundance. The trees are full of fruits, the rivers are flowing, the hills are full of minerals, and the oceans full of wealth. And this is all due to your glancing over them. Why the material prosperities, even for the devotees, the material prosperities, the natural prosperities are very good in number, very good in quality. Why so? Because Krishna glances on them. Because they want everything to give back to Krishna. Just like, for example, in Talasari, we see that Talasari farmhouse, before it was being taken for the Krishna's service, it was not as good as it is now. How much this is very beautiful. The flowers, even we have very nice pond. Devotees are swimming there. We have so many facilities. We have cows. So many things we have for the service of Krishna. Why it is very good? Why it is very beautiful? Because we are using for Krishna's service. Other we can also see, in that line also, there are so many farms. But that all the farms is not so beautiful. Just like for some time I was there. So I used to visit from Talasari to Umargaon also. So I used to see other places also, other farmhouses also are there. We can see. But the beauty of our Talasari farm is something different from other farm, even in that same place. And the reason is because Lord Jagannath Baldev Subhadra is there. Because we are serving to Krishna. We are serving to the devotees. We are serving to the cows. Therefore, it is so beautiful. And that the place Krishna wants to enjoy. Similarly, if we want to make our heart, Krishna should reside in that, then our heart should be like that. The calm water reservoir. It should not get agitated. Although even about me, if I'll speak about me, it is agitated. Most of the time, it is agitating. But if we follow the process given by Srila Prabhupada, the followers of Prabhupada, our seniors, if we try to follow that with a full faith, then it will work. Then it will make us also the very peaceful mind person, and we will also get fixed. The process given by Srila Prabhupada is very simple. That chanting the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Reading of Srimad Bhagavatam, the Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, having prasad, dancing in kirtan, and many things. So many processes given by Srila Prabhupada and our acharyas is to make ourselves eke ha kuru nandana, to make our mind peaceful and not agitated, to fix our mind to the lotus feet of Krishna for the service of Krishna, and to preach all over the world. Every places wherever we go, we preach so that others should also get attracted to the lotus feet of Krishna. Why people will get attracted? Why we will get satisfied? So in the purport, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur he mentions about why. So he says, Lord Krishna saw that the Vrindavan forest was giving pleasure to all five senses. Because outside world or the non-devotee people, they also seek pleasure in so many things. They are also hankering for so many things, searching for so many things. The research is going on from so many years for pleasure, but they are not getting, and they are always agitated. But the place like Vrindavan, the place which is connected to Krishna is like is like it is giving the pleasure to all the senses. And very beautifully it is, it mentions that the bees, birds, and animals made charming sounds that brought sweet pleasure to the ears. The wind was faithfully rendering service to the Lord by blowing throughout the forest, carrying the cool moisture of a transparent lake and thus giving pleasure to the sense of touch. By the sweetness of wind, even the sense of taste was being stimulated. Now, one may think how just by wind, the sweetness of the wind, how the taste will get satisfied. So we have example just like we go to the sweet store, or if the varieties of sweets are available, and if we smell the sweet, we feel like, taste of the sweet. That comes in our mind. And the fragrance of the lotus flower was bringing pleasure to the nostril, and the entire forest was endowed with heavenly beauty, which was giving spiritual bliss to the eyes. So all the five senses are getting satisfied. And when senses will be satisfied, mind will be satisfied, then why the mind will agitate? And this is the reason that the devotees, the great souls, the words it is mentioned here, Mahan Mana, they are always satisfied. They are always peaceful and never gets agitated. They are always constantly have focus for the service of Krishna, and they are completely satisfied in that. Because all the senses, Lord Krishna, his one of the name is Rishikesha. Rishik means senses, Isha means Lord. So when we will engage our senses, all the senses in the service of Lord, for the eyes, seeing the beautiful form of the Lord, beautiful temple of the Lord, the devotees of the Lord, from the ears, hearing the kirtana, from the hands, doing service for the Lord, from the leg, will walk with the holy places, like our temple, the holy places. Nostril, we have so many things. The Mahaprasad flowers like to smell. Mahaprasad, grains we eat, which satisfies our tongue, belly, and many things are there to satisfy our senses. And everything is connected with Krishna. But the importance is, why this will satisfy? Because this is connected with Krishna. Because Krishna is a Rishikesha. He will control all of our senses because he is the original master of all of our senses. We may be master of our eyes, our ears, or anything like. But Krishna is a master of everyone's senses, and therefore he is able to make everyone's senses peaceful and happy. So similarly, in this verse, the two things are mentioned, which I just tried to explain. Any correction, I would like if you can. Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Well, here Krishna has come out of his house for first day. We have to set this scene. This is the Paugand Leela of Krishna. So first day he came out of house. For a small boy, if he comes out of the house, everything, looks new for him. And thus he wants to enjoy. Enjoyment had different way. Something by touching, something by smelling, something by tasting, something by hearing. All senses have to be engaged. So this word niriksha is very important. Niriksha ratum bhagavan mano dadade. Dadade means lag jana, pakad lena. So Krishna's mind was totally absorbed. And this is just, if you go to a new place, if you have mobile, you like to take all the photograph, everything, because your mind is absorbed. Because you are in a new place. And you want to take everything home with you. Maybe after some time, so, oh, this photo is useless, why should I should have not taken this photo. But for first time, yes. So same way, Krishna has come for first time. And as Vishwanath Thakur very nicely describes, that niriksha, by observing everything, minutely observing everything. Niriksha does not mean what they have translated looking, It's not looking. Looking is only
Seeing.
for eyes. And niriksha means all the senses and beyond. So here's the niriksham ratum. Just by observing everything, he got attracted. And his mind got caught. Mind did not catch, but mind got caught. By what? Manju Ghosha. By sweet sound of Ali. The beach, mriga, different, animals who makes sweet sound. And for first timer, even wild sound is also very nice. And Dvija Kulam, the bird, they are known as Dvija because first gives egg, and from the egg comes the body. So the birds are known as Dvija. So there are different kind of birds where they are chirping. So all those things really attracted his mind, So, and then he goes on describing how all the five senses got observed. But here, the example is given that Mahan Manaha or Mahat Manaha Praksha Payaha Saraswata, like cool and calm water. So Sukadeva Goswami gives the example that water was cool and calm. There are two things, coolness and calmness, that is very pleasing to the mind. Nowadays, of course, forceful water coming from, river, Niagara Falls or something like that. Thousands of people, they go to see Niagara Falls, the wild water, but also people they like. But water attracts mind. But the example is given here, Mahat Manaha, so the great personality or saintly person. That's how they should be. How? Cool-headed. Not be agitated or angry. Cool-headed and calm. Cool and calm. And when they are calm, calm means you be thinking all the time about Krishna. If you are in calm head, then you can see the beauty. When you see the darshan, then any time of the day, close your eyes, you can see same. But your mind is not calm, distracted with so many things, then even you will forget what was the dress of Krishna in Mangalarti. So actually our mind is not calm. I don't know how many of us remember what was the dress of Krishna yesterday or Mangalarti. You can taste. You don't have to say here, but you can taste. And that is the taste of your mind, whether your mind are calm or not. With a calm mind and cool head, you can understand things. Not agitated mind. So the mind had to be, that's why the example given, Mahat Manaha. The mind of the great personalities are compared with this cool and calm water of the lake. So this is something which is, I feel that this is something to take home, for us. So I can say only four things. One thing is that Lord observed. For first day, he observed, he got so excited, so he wanted to see everything very minutely. Niriksha means observing things very minutely. Parikshan and Nirikshan. So Nirikshan means observing things very minutely. So he observed things very minutely, which are very pleasing to all the senses. So all the senses are pleased, thus mind got boom. So that was, of course, natural. So that is for the Lord, but for us, devotee, what to take back, what lesson we learn from the sloka is Mahatmana Praksha Paya Saraswata. Just like the water of the lake, which was cool and calm. So devotees, mind should be like that. And then the Lord can swim in that mind. He can be there in cool and calm mind. Manas Raja Hansa. Krishna is Raja Hansa. He is Manas Raja Hansa. He is Raja Hansa of the mind. So mind, the Hansa goes in cool and calm water, not dirty water, which has, of course, lotus. So this also has a fragrance. So, yes, it's something to learn. Haribol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji, for the nice class. Yesterday I was reading in the 5th canto one very instructive verse. It said that na karyat karichit sakhyam manasi anavasthitam yat vishrambha chirat chirnam chaskandam tapa aishwaram. So this verse comes in the context when Shukdev Goswami is narrating the history of Rishabdev, and Parikshit Maharaj asked the question, why did Rishabdev reject the mystic powers? He was completely transcendental, so he could handle the mystic powers. Why did he reject that? And in answer to this question, Shukdev Goswami is telling this shloka, that mind is very unsteady. Manasi hi anavasthitam. And yat vishrambhat, if one puts faith in the mind, then it will lead to fall down, even to the person who is very advanced in tapasya. So I was just thinking, in context to that, this shloka, when the lake is there, why this comparison is given? The mind of the sage is compared to be like a lake, because lake can be calm on its own. So we can say it will not have adi atmika klesh, miseries arising from the mind and the body, but it is still subjected to the disturbance from the outside source, like adi bhautik or adi daivik klesh. So why such an example is given, like a sage can be peaceful. Actually the situation should be like sthita pragya, whether from any source the disturbance come, he is steady. But in this example we see that it is only in the case where he is not disturbed by any other outside circumstances, he is still calm. But if I throw some stone, then lake will get agitated. So I was just thinking, because Prabhuji is here, I take this opportunity to ask. Hare Krishna.
Pradeep, can you please?
By nature, water is cool and calm. That's first thing. Now, artificially, something you throw, like you throw a stone, then agitation comes. Naturally doesn't come. So when it is thrown, so applying to us, by nature, mind in pure state, mind is attracted to Krishna. Look at the Gopija Vrindavan, or the birds, or the cows. By nature it is there. But since we have become unnatural, so our nature of mind is also changed. By nature, we are servant of Krishna. So by nature, servant of Krishna means mind is also servant of Krishna, not only soul. Mind is also servant of Krishna. And service of Krishna, it had to be like natural tendency, cool and calm, cool-headed, in calm way, we can serve Krishna. But unnatural is that we become servant of different thing than Krishna. Servant of body, servant of relative, friend, so on and so forth. And thus, the throne is, the stone is thrown by Maya. The time we forget serving Krishna, then Maya takes over. And she starts throwing different kind of a stone. And then mind get boom, 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 agitated. Otherwise, sada samudya asatgrahaya. When we start thinking that I am this body, that's why Krishna Maya tare de sansare dukh. How is that? Krishna boli sei jeev bhogavancha kare nikataste maya tar झापटी नहीं दूसरा वाला है नहीं माया तारे दे संसारे दुख. As soon as you forget Krishna and think of ourself, our body and relationship, then Maya will start throwing a stone. Disney. So by constitution, the mind is very cool and calm in service of the Lord. You okay? Right. We are unnatural position right now. Therefore, Maya keeps, throwing different difficulties. But natural condition is in service of the Lord. If we are in service of the Lord, even all these things comes, doesn't make any difference. Just like, the water is falling, the waterfall is there. Waterfall is there, and throw some stone in that. Will it make any difference? It will only make difference when they are cool and calm. So time we forget that we are servant of Krishna, then this kind of problem will come. So we should Jiv Krishna Das, say Vishwas, Karle to ar dukhanai. All the problem will go away. Once we are convinced that we are servant of Krishna, and thus we engage everything in service of Krishna. Service of Krishna can be only with cool head, peaceful mind. But disturbed mind, how can you serve Krishna? That's what I understand. But your question was good.
Thank you so much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.